Hi, everybody. Welcome to Demo, the show where companies come in and they show us their latest products and platforms. Today, I'm joined by Cassie Shum. She is the Vice President of Field Engineering at Relational AI. Welcome to the show, Cassie.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Relational AI and then what you're going to be showing us today.
Sure. So a little bit about Relational AI. We are a relational knowledge graph, hence the word relational in our title. So relational knowledge graph that is brought directly to the data cloud. In this case, we'll be showcasing it in Snowflake. So essentially, I will go through a few diagrams to show what the knowledge graph is and how it operates within the ecosystem of Snowflake. And then, AI, where's the AI part come into this and how do we interact with the knowledge graph?
Were you doing a lot of AI before generative AI, or is it something that has grown out of generative AI and a lot of those technologies?
I would say the Gen AI movement has accelerated a lot of the things that we have done, which I'm very excited to show in a little bit. But before that, I think a lot of the AI we were doing has been around we'll discuss around predictive and prescriptive analytics. I have some amazing teams who actually really specialize in mathematical optimization and graph neural networks and deep learning modeling and things like that. So we've been doing that for quite some time before the movement.
All right, so within the enterprise, what role in the company is this mainly designed for? It sounds like relational, I think databases, and I think a lot of data science and AI obviously is data scientists. Is it designed for them, or is it more of a developer thing, security thing? Like who are the companies going to benefit from this?
I hopefully in future will be for massive organizations. We really target enterprise organizations. So if we look at sort of within the organization, we talk to the chief data officers, the data data engineers and things like that. But as you can see here, the convergence of AIs and apps, we're actually looking at the movement of application central architectures and that movement to data centric architecture. So eventually, I believe this should be targeting more of the application developers as well.
All right. So tell me about the problems that a lot of these people are having, and then how does relational AI solve these problems?
Sure. Well, I think like what we're seeing right now is with the movement of Gen AI and everything happening is like, how do you actually utilize AI to its full maximum capacity? And what we're finding is similar foundational problems that people have found even before that. When we were back in BI and analytics, data cleanliness, data governance, data lineage has always been a problem, still is a problem now. Big enterprises don't really know still what's in their data. So if we're talking about how to utilize Gen AI or agentic systems, they can only do so much of like what your data is. And so a lot of what I'm going to be talking around the knowledge graph itself is to be able to give people in your own enterprise an idea of what your actual domain is, and then how to actually question across that domain and the data that sits within that domain.
Right. So if a company was not using relational AI, what would they be doing? Would they be back in the Middle Ages? Would they be having stacks and stacks of paper? Would they be trying these other methods and just failing completely? Or what other kind of things would they be doing?
So we've seen a lot of enterprises like hand roll their own, what we would say their semantic layer, which is what the knowledge graph sits in. But then we see like these types of tools and technologies all sort of bespoke and kind of clobbered together. And so you're not able to utilize all of your data what is all sitting in the data cloud in itself. And so what we want to go to today is like an ecosystem where all your data is in one data cloud, like a Snowflake, and then being able to sit your knowledge graph within that ecosystem so you can access all that data using your domain knowledge, your business logic, and really understanding what you can use with your data, which is actually pretty exciting.
All right, enough talk from me. Let's get into the demo. Let's see all this cool stuff.
Sure. So as we were talking a little bit earlier, like what relational AI does is really about convergence of AI and apps. So the question we want to actually think about, like what kind of questions can we answer with AI, right? So can I connect my new Sony TV to my home Wi-Fi network? We can probably answer that with RAG-based vector similarity searches on documents. You could do that right now. All of the LLMs are very, very good at that. You can Google that right now. What about what are my sales last May of Sony TVs in Boston? So think about,
we're getting really specific now.
Very specific, but at the same time, like with your specific data, you can actually look backwards in history. And this is where a lot of BI tools, Tableau, analytics actually really look at these kind of things as well. And so these answer to with text to SQL on tabular data, this is the kind of way we go about doing that. Now, very quickly, how many Sony TVs will I sell in Boston next May? Now we're going into the future.
Right.
I don't have the data that says what I'm going to do in the future. So the questions are getting a little bit harder. What can I do to sell more TVs in Boston in May? When and how many TVs should I order from Sony to meet the demand in May? Where is the closest warehouse with Sony TVs for each of these stores? And how should I even price Sony TVs to maximize my profit in Q3? So these are all questions where this is how businesses and enterprises succeed. They need to figure out and start predicting what they should be doing given historical events.
Okay.
And so, again, these are very hard to answer, and they can't be answered with just these simple reasoners that I just showed you a little bit earlier. So this is hence why I'm setting us up for relational AI and what we can do in the ecosystem of Snowflake. And so I guess the question is, have these things been solved before relational AI? And I think you asked that. They absolutely have been. There are things in here that I'm showing that are around demand planning, supply planning. These are applications that tend to sit in the application logic layer. So you either microservices, and each services have these kind of things, but this is a very traditional application centric
And these could be all over the place as well as multiple applications, right?
All over the place. Different application, different tooling, third-party applications, then there's this sprawl.
Yeah.
And so being able to, like, we've been trying to solve this problem of like, how do we get to all of the data and how do we distribute this to all of the applications, and it just becomes a complicated mess, really. So very quickly, I'll try to get through this.
I want to see the demo.
The demo is how do we actually answer all of these questions? Again, the historical questions are solved for BI and analytics, and these are the advanced reasoning. And so very quickly, this is the ecosystem in which I want to guide everyone to in terms of the demo. So first part of the demo, I'm going to go into Snowflake and show how we actually answer some basic questions and queries on top of a knowledge graph that we've created.
Okay.
And then the second part of the demo is really going to talk about how do we use ChatGPT or some LLM in order to query on top of our knowledge graph in itself and the ontology. So there's two parts to this. Okay?
All right.
So very quickly, I will show you, first of all, how do you actually find relational AI. So Snowflake in itself has a marketplace.
Okay.
And so most of these platforms have marketplaces. And so what I've been very excited about is that we were one of the first what we call native apps that was installed in the Snowflake marketplace. Snowflake released this in last year. And then the way we actually operate this is that we spin up our engines into a Snowpark Container Services, which is in Snowflake itself. So in order to find us, you would search for relational AI. Here it is. And then you can actually, I think, I have probably already downloaded this, so you can see open.
Yep.
But there's more information about relational AI, the different type of use cases that we drive out, and then a little bit about ourselves as well. Okay. So, but this is me to show you in your own Snowflake environment, you can actually go to Snowflake and then turn all of this on and actually download it right then and there, right? Okay. So then I have a notebook that I've opened up in Snowflake just to set us up for this demo. So essentially, one of the new things that Snowflake has, implemented maybe about a year ago is the concept of notebooks. So as a data scientist, we use Jupyter notebooks and things like that in order to actually drive out some of these Python driven queries and setting up and all of these things. So what I want to demo here is a use case around a retail customer. So a retail customer that I'm going to obfuscate a little bit, but we end up modeling their ontology. And we ended up integrating all of their data that was already sitting in Snowflake into the knowledge graph that we're actually putting together. So I'll show where that is happening. But the ontology itself has different entities and concepts, right? So what is a seller? What is a buyer? How are they related to each other? And the different rules and things that go between these entities and relationships, hence the relational knowledge graph. Okay. And so this notebook here, I already have relational AI installed on there, and it is also right now running on a Snowpark Container Services. So I have the container spun up already.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to first install. So I think most developers will see that pip install, all of these different things. You can see Relational AI is one of the packages that we're installing as part of this to get a bit of the Python libraries. I'm setting up some environment variables just to make sure that everything works appropriately and talking to the right databases and things like that, or the right tables. And then we're going to import just a few of these libraries. But the thing that I wanted to show here is how we're importing the models here. So this is the actual important part, is the ontology. So you think about reading around the listing customer, the order, the buyers. These are the kind of things that we're going to model, which I'm going to show a diagram of what that actually looks like. So some of your business SMEs understand what is actually going into the knowledge graph. So imagine us querying this knowledge graph right now. And then for this particular retail customer, they really, really care about like the number of sold events, sold items per event. So if I'm doing a pop-up event and I'm selling a bunch of, articles of clothing, things like that, they want to know how many items were sold in that particular pop-up event, because eventually, to answer some of the harder questions, what locations are better for pop-up events? Did I sell more in this area? Did I sell more at a certain time of day, et cetera, et cetera?
Right.
So, but for now, we will actually say, okay, with this knowledge graph, we're looking through all the data and we're actually saying, okay, let's figure out the different sale events, the types and the counts, and the assets. We call assets like the items of clothing and things like that. So as that engine is running, what I can probably do right now is just pop over to the ontology that is actually loading in. So for example, we have a customer who can be a seller or a buyer. So these buyers are the ones that are going into your pop-up events. And they're selling assets, and even the assets may have individual items associated with the assets. The reason why I'm showing this ontology is because with each enterprise, there are specific rules and domains that are specific to their own domain itself. So one retail company is not going to be the same as another. So you want to actually have specific ontology that mirrors your business logic. This is perfect for like the audience is like the product owners, like really understanding the business and actually saying in English form, like what these kind of things are. Okay. And then also, I know it's a little bit small here, but as we see in enterprises as well, there are silos of domains. So it's not just one person saying, this is the whole of my business here. It's probably going to be many product owners or many SMEs that you have. So this is an example of having different ontologies that make up your entire domain.
Okay.
And so we can actually combine all these ontologies together to make what we call one ontology. So we've done this for AT&T. Blue Yonder, we just announced yesterday that we have created their ontology, their knowledge graph, and it's very exciting stuff now. Okay.
All right, still running. Oh, come on, we gotta get this going.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So actually,
so generally, would you go into a company and then help them build their ontology rather than expecting them to build it because they might not know where all this stuff is? Is that why you guys go in and do this?
Yeah, so traditionally speaking, like I think for the last few years and being head of field engineering, we have a team of ontologists that will go in and help them model their business, right? But what I'm about to show you here is that I don't think you need us anymore, which would be really great.
That's an interesting selling point.
I'm doing a great job here. So as we're waiting for that, let me jump over to what I was going to show around the ontologies themselves. Okay. And so essentially, as I showed you guys these particular ontologies, again, this is a simple one about your customer, seller, and buyer. We can go into more detail about the pop-up store, the flash sale event, and these are different rules and constraints that are part of the ontology itself. Now, I'm using a tool called Norma, but anybody could use conceptual modeling. There's online things, there's OWL, there's many different types of modeling techniques, so I'm not married to any of them. But this one is one that we actually really like because there's a lot of granularity and there's a lot of richness to the semantics that we can add to this particular ontology, which then gets ported over into what you're seeing is running right now. Okay. To the right of this is the verbalized ontology. So that representation, this everything on the right, and this is using the Norma tool, it will verbalize everything that is described there. So it looks quite simple on the left, but as you can see, there's a lot of fact types, there's a lot of constraints, there's a lot of things that we're diagramming in this particular ontology itself. So what I can do, and what I say I'm gonna work us out of a job a little bit, is now with Gen AI and with these LLMs becoming more and more mature, you can actually take your verbalized ontologies, and I say S because the ChatGPT that we're going to use right now will even combine some of these ontologies together, and you can start asking questions.
Okay.
So this will be more of a learning thing with us in terms of that. So let's, I went into a temporary chat, so it doesn't hold any of this information, but I'm going to say something like, I am going to give you a verbalize ontology.
Great. It always
Great.
says great.
Good job. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I always like how polite it is. And so, and I love how they're like, we can convert it into OWL or RDF or whatnot. And they're going to probably notice that I have it in Norma, but let's do that. They're always so nice again.
Always so polite.
Yeah, very polite. Thank you for providing a well-structured verbalized ontology, clear entity types, reference schemas, fact types, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So what's really, really great about this is that, first of all, it actually can identify that we are using object role modeling, which is what we're using right now for this modeling technique. We could do it in OWL, we could do it in ER. So there's a way, like, depending on where the enterprise is and what kind of tools they use, you can actually convert how we're using this into something else. That's really great. But then it actually gives you some information about your ontology coming back to you. So I always think about, if I join an enterprise, how long does it take to onboard onto the domain?
Yeah.
It takes months to figure out where's this, where's that. I have to go through Confluence. I have to do all of these things. Imagine if there's a one ontology in your enterprise and I can just enter it in here and just start asking questions and actually even fixing some of, reconciling some of the ontological domain things and asking questions about, should this be it or should we change our business to do something else? So we have things like seller offers asset, we have constraints, and then they also are very helpful because they're like, hey, maybe there are things that you can do next.
Yep.
Okay, but let me go ahead and give it one more verbalization so we can actually give it more information so we can ask it interesting questions. So I'm going to give it, here we go. Here is a second verbalization of my ontology. Identify any refinement or changes. So I love that it's just going to continue on with all of this. And so now it understands there's a flash sale event, there's a listing, there's a deal. So there's these new entity types. Now there were entity types that I had in the first one and in the second one, but now it's reconciling that a bit, so which is very, very exciting. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What would you like? What do you want to ask on this ontology about this particular thing? So we have a flash event pop up. We have an asset. Maybe we can just even ask, like, what is an asset in this?
Sure,
anything
go ahead.
like that.
Yeah.
So what is an asset and how is it associated with a flash sale event?
And it's basically, it's answering this based on the ontology or the verbalization that you gave it.
That's correct.
So it's not like looking at another location or another site
it's not
for its answer.
It is not looking for another location, but it will create suggestions based off of words that we're using. So, for example, if I add in the last one here that includes, like, say, GTV, some people may not know what GTV is. So it actually looks around and says, okay, this is what a GTV is for anyone who doesn't know, and this is what it means in your context. So I am going to give a final ontology. And then I'll add this one.
This is great because you're doing this for real work.
Yeah.
Where I just have it draw funny pictures.
I do that too as well. And And then really it says in this new final version, there's new core concepts, there's opportunities, there's agreements. So it's actually building on top of the original thing that I had. So what I love about this is you can iterate on your ontology. It's not a one and done, this is never going to change. Your ontology will always change, given your business needs will change as well. So hopefully on this one I can say, what is a GTV and how to calculate here.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, it actually says gross transaction value. I didn't put that in the ontology, but it goes somewhere else to go figure that out. And then it looks at my ontology and says, for this particular deal, it's a sum of all the prices and the items created by that deal. Again, represented in our ontology.
Okay.
If an enterprise names anything specific to their enterprise, and that actually will show up in here, and this will be all private, and it'll be proprietary knowledge for them as well. So they can actually do that. Okay.
Yep.
So let's see how our demo's running. All right.
Okay, good.
So this is a good example of again, that sale event. So now it's going through hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tables right now to actually see what kind of numbers of items sold in the past of different events. So I have all these different types of events. As you can see, some of this is fake data, but this is a market. This is a type of event it is. Is it a marketplace? Is it an online auction? Mm-hmm. And then it'll show what type of results and items that we've sold. So this is something that you're now combining BI analytics into the knowledge graph itself. It's now part of this ecosystem. You don't have to go somewhere else to Tableau or whatnot. You can actually do everything within that one ontology and in that one ecosystem there. And then this is a really great feature of Snowflake where we have Streamlit, and it can actually show a graph of the sale events as well. So we could probably clean that up for future state, but you can see somewhere around here, there was a lot of items sold. So maybe in future, we would query this in sort of a predictive query that says why, what can I do in May of next year to get this kind of spike again, right? Same thing, we talked about GTV per sale event. So similar query about looking at how do I actually calculate this GTV? And again, using reasoners to figure out what that predictive, maybe graph neural networks, or actually looking at what could the GTV be given the past history of all of these different types of things. So this is the kind of thing that is now, we're querying this on top of the knowledge graph that sits within Snowflake. So, I mean, this is, I think, the value prop here, because normally you'd have to move your data around. At this point, we're bringing everything to your data, so you don't have to move it around, clean it, do all of the things that we have to do.
Okay.
Okay.
How many more have we got?
That's it.
We got? Okay.
We can look at buyers, but I think you got the point.
Yeah. All right. So again, for people that want to try this out, I know you mentioned the Snowflake marketplace. Is that the best place to sort of try it out and just play with your own data, or is there a more formal structure?
You can always go to the marketplace for Snowflake and go and request it and download it, and then someone will reach out, but they normally get back within minutes.
Yeah, but for more information on the website,
and for more information, we have a website, relational.ai, and so we have documentation, we have getting started docs, we have example notebooks, so one similar to how I showed you, and also data that they can start playing around and just get started as quickly as possible. All
right, Cassie Shum from Relational AI, thanks again for the demo.
No, thank you so much.
That's going to do it for this week's show. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, add any thoughts you have below. Join us every week for new episodes of Demo. I'm Keith Shaw. Thanks for watching.